Today I'm doing something scary that I haven't done for a while. And that scary thing is that I'm shaving my beard today. I'm gonna end up looking like Jack from The Incredibles, or at least the bolder version of him anyway. I freaking wish I could grow that little mohawk that he's got, but no, I'm joking. The scary thing I'm doing today is that I'm presenting in front of an unknown amount of people. Can't believe I've just walked past that chair again. The one I put on my Instagram stories. I swear to God, the council are viewing my Instagram stories and thinking, this guy's on a mad streak at the moment of demonstrating how bad they are at their jobs. So we're not gonna remove it, which is quite funny. But the reason why I struggle with presenting so much and through my school years is because I have a reading age of a 2-year-old and I have LEX, which is dyslexia backwards. But yeah, so whenever I was presenting in front of more than maybe one person sometimes, I'd read really slowly, and because I read slowly, I'd then speed up my lines to try and jump ahead to catch up with like where the presentation would be, and it just ended up me embarrassing myself and getting really bad grades at school. So this is the reason why I'm doing this today, is to show to you guys that the more you expose yourself to an uncomfortable situation, something that you're not good at, the better you will get at it. So I guess it's coming out of your comfort zone is the subject of today's vlog. Now perhaps you've got your physique to a position where you're thinking, you're quite happy with it, but you know you can achieve more, but the idea of doing something bigger, getting shredded or doing a bodybuilding show, is just a little bit too much. But I promise you, if you expose yourself to that environment more often or not, you will grow, you will get better, and it will be less scary. Meal one's about to go down, and today we have, like we always have, bagels and eggs, but there's a difference. So the difference is that the bagel is not even toasted today. I had no time this morning to eat it. So yeah, plain bagel, not toasted, 4 eggs. Gonna get this down, set up the presentation, but I will give you a quick taste test. Tastes like normal, and now has the texture of like a chewing through sponge. So I highly recommend do not eat bagels that are not toasted. We're going to go through the phases that we take clients through in terms of getting a transformation. So the first phase being the priming phase. The priming phase is a phase in which we prepare the body for sustainable change, getting their habits, their nutrition, their training all on point in order to lead them into phase 2, which would be a fat loss phase. Now, if your goal is gaining weight, for example, or gaining muscle, I really recommend starting from a blank canvas, which is why we often put someone in a really quick, intense dieting phase to start off with, to then start them from the blank canvas. If you think about building a house, you wouldn't build a house on uneven ground or with no foundations laid, which is why we always start with that priming phase first and then lead into the fat loss phase. Within the fat loss phase, this could last between 8 to 12 weeks. It very much depends on the person and the individual in front of me. Once we've completed the fat loss phase, we then move into an improvement phase, bring up the client's calories, and we push their training still. But the whole idea of this phase is to drop any dietary fatigue built over the last 8 to 12 weeks and really push performance in the gym in order to build and grow some muscle in this phase. This phase could last a short amount of time of 4 weeks, but it could also go up to 24, 30, 32 weeks, depending on that person and how much they're willing to gain over that period of time. Nice, slow and steady gain is the idea of this phase. And then moving into the max results phase, which is where we really take things up a notch. We diet down aggressively to really show off what you've built in that phase, which is like what we did for Nathan. So Nathan, we clearly mapped out his whole journey from start to finish. So phase 1 being his priming phase, we then moved into a short, aggressive fat loss phase building some muscle at the same time, and then finishing off with that max result phase where we revealed his gains, revealed his muscle building that he did in the previous 2 phases. Alongside this, we helped to improve Nathan's consistent eating habits by adding in more structure to his food, by adding more protein, less convenience meals, adding better structure to his meal timings to really fuel his performance in the gym so that he could lift more weight and gain more muscle. His training program, believe it or not, was only 3 days a week. Most people will train 5, 6, 7 days a week and struggle to recover from it. They're not really getting a lot out of their training, not being able to push hard enough in the gym. So this is why we stuck to 3 days a week, and you can consistently do that day in, day out. And this is where the results show. We increased the amount of steps as Nathan's doing through his job, through outside of the gym as well. He did also a lot of rock climbing, which is another cardiovascular based exercise, which aided in him burning more calories to reveal the abs and reveal more shreds at the end of his journey. Nathan gained more gym confidence from this, so believe it or not, a lot of guys struggle with gym confidence. I struggled with gym confidence when I started my journey, didn't really know what to do in the gym, didn't know how to approach gym. So this is where having that plan, having that structure really helps. And as you can see, Nathan now has more muscle than he ever could imagine. Any questions? So that's the gym's open day all wrapped up. Very, very good day. We had quite a few people turn up for the first half of the day where we took them through the talk on the 4 phases we take clients through to get transformation. And then we took them through a couple of exercises that most people get wrong in the gym. Obviously, lots of them people turned up for my talk in form of Sally the Skeleton. But it was the idea of like, although I didn't quite come out my comfort zone in terms of presenting in front of lots of people, the actual, what's the word? The actual intention of me making the agreement to myself that I was going to do that today is already the start of the process of me coming out of my comfort zone. So the next time we run an open day, I might take the first talk, and then that's another chance for me then to come out my comfort zone and grow as a person, grow as develop myself personally, because public speaking is definitely not something that I can see myself doing in the future. But not to say that I don't enjoy it at all. It's a confidence thing at the end of the day. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to eat meal 2, which today is cream of rice again, but as I'm training later on. So I will give you a quick taste test once I find a table, and then I'll take you through my training session, which is going to be a quad day today. So a lot of hack squats, leg extensions, leg press, and the most stubborn muscle group ever, calves. So yeah, let me just give you a quick taste test of cream of rice. Now, normally, before I delve into this, I'd normally have just dark chocolate, but today I've got peanut butter. Now, I would normally go for like the dark roasted peanut butter, crunchy peanut butter. I cannot remember the brand off the top of my head, but it is like gold. It's so good. Yeah, it's definitely really good. Trick to making cream of rice as well is to not overdo it in the microwave. It's like incremental. Like you want to be able to get a forearm pump from like stirring it so much, because it gets quite clumpy. So you want to, like, I have 150 grams of this. So I normally then do like probably about 3 or 4 parts of water with that. Put it in the microwave for 2 minutes, then stir it, break up all the clumps and stuff. Put it again in for a minute and a half, stir it again, another minute and a half, and then probably 1 more minute, and then 30 seconds until you get it to like a really runny texture. And I'll leave it in the fridge overnight. And then normally it would go like a cake, or if I've made it in the morning, I'll leave it in the fridge until I need to leave for work, carry it to work, then put it in the fridge at work. And then it goes a little bit more softer. But yeah, definitely recommend cream of rice if you are gaining weight. As much as oats is really good, cream of rice is banging for like the extra carbs that you get from it. So there's a lot more, in my opinion, a lot more carbs in cream of rice for the calories that you get for it. So you can definitely fit a lot more of this in than you can with like oats, for example. And also, like, I'm not like a typical bodybuilder that says, oh, I can't digest oats. Like, I can digest oats, but I just find too much fiber for me isn't great for my bowels, which sounds quite nice. But yeah, normally I have, like, when I was dieting my photo shoot, I'd have like 30 grams of fiber a day, or sometimes over that. I'd have nearly, 120, 130 grams of oats when I was dieting, which was quite a lot. And yeah, I was quite flatulent with that. So what I'm finding is actually my sweet spot with fiber at the moment is around like just under 20 grams, 25 grams of fiber. That's my happy place with that. So with the cream of rice, it keeps the fiber a little bit lower before I train, because I don't want to be shitting myself on the hack squat. And then obviously I get a lot of the fiber in through the rest of the day. So like tonight I'll probably have some veg with my dinner and stuff. I'm getting the extra fiber in through there. So I am still hitting that, just not through my normal oats that I'd have when I was dieting last. Well, that was a fucking tough session. You know, it's one of those sessions where you get in, you're freaking buzzed to do it, get sort of like the first exercise out of the way, and then you're just like, nah, not happening. So took a couple of rep progressions on the leg extension, and then on the hack squat I took a rep progression on the first set. Second set I dropped a rep, but because I took that rep on the first set, I'm still counting as a bit of progress there. So even though it wasn't feel like it, I still pushed myself hard, still pushed myself to failure. Just my mind wasn't in it in that session. I think what massively plays on a good session for me is the time of day that you train. So normally if I am training on a Saturday, I will train at around like 11, 12 o'clock, right around lunch. I've had kind of like 2 meals since then, but because I had obviously the open day today and like eating's been pretty sporadic, had my pre-workout probably like 3 or 4 hours before I actually was supposed to train, and then ended up having a consult call with a new client, which is pretty sick. I'm really excited to get her started. It just meant that my session was a bit delayed today. So tomorrow I'll be training at a new gym, which I'll be recording for Instagram. So if you're not following me on Instagram, make sure you drop me a follow so you can keep up to date with the progress of my bulk, which is probably gonna be to the end of the year now, as I'm looking to compete in 2026 for my first bodybuilding show, which is really exciting. I've always wanted to dabble into it. Not too sure what kind of category to fall into at the moment, but I'm definitely gonna have to look into getting a posing coach, because currently I'm posing like a scarecrow, and that would be embarrassing to step on stage and do that. It just wouldn't worth my time and the effort that I've been putting into training at the moment, really pushing hard. So definitely worth the investment nearer the time. Plan is now is to fucking kill myself walking up more hills after leg day, get my post-workout in, which I'll show you that, which is obviously always Cocoa Pops with protein shake, almond milk, and then a little bit of work, probably onboarding some clients, editing a little bit of today's vlog for tomorrow. And then meal 5, which I'll show you later, is a curry. Just quickly, a really good YouTuber that I'm watching at the moment is #Brady. Honestly, I can't not get enough of his vlogs. It's so funny. It's like he's never experienced anything before. Like I watched the Christmas one where he was in Berlin, I think it was, or one of the two. Berlin or Belgium, one of the two. And he went on a like something like the London Eye, and it's like he's never experienced anything like that before. It's so funny. But yeah, definitely recommend checking him out. Here we are then, meal 5. Last meal of the day, curry and rice. Comment down below what naan bread is your favorite. I call them nana breads, weirdly, for some reason. It's just my girlfriend and my little joke to each other. But yeah, comment down below what naan bread you prefer. And if you enjoyed today's video, make sure you hit that subscribe button, because every little subscribe is a little help to my ego.